We shall begin with the prayer of invocation. Om Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanshcha Prahinoti Tasmai Amhadevamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahmavidya Sampradaya Vamshrishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya Sarvopaplavarahitāh Prajñānaghana Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Om वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादीनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततम् पूर्णाय बोधात्मने ओम। सर्वतंत्र स्वतंत्राय सदात्माद्वैतवेदिने श्रीमते शंकरार्याय वेदांत गुरवे नमः। योऽवतीर्ण इहाचार्य रूपेण यतीनां मुदे श्रीमन्नारायणं वन्दे तं हरिं करुणानिधिं। मननाख्यं प्रकरणं वासुदेवयतीश्वरैः रचितं विस्तरेणाद्य संग्रहेण प्रकाश्यते। बालानामुपकाराय मम विज्ञानसिद्धये तत्र श्रीबालगोपाल कृष्णः सन्निहितो भवेत्। Om. Since this happens to be the Prakarana Grantha of Vedanta, we have to understand that the Anubandha chatushtaya, which is applicable to the books of Vedanta, in fact, to entire body of Vedanta, becomes applicable over here. And in the definition of the Prakarana Grantha, we have seen that an independent work which is covering certain parts of the Shastra Ekadesha Sambandham, and also Shastra Karyantare Sthitam. It has the same prayojanam, the same purpose to be accomplished as that which is accomplished, as that what is the claim of Vedanta Shastra. So thus, this happens to be the part of what we can now say as the body of Vedanta. And therefore, the Anubandha Chatushtaya, the same Anubandha Chatushtaya, will be applicable over here. So the question is, what exactly is Anubandha Chatushtaya? By definition, Anubandha Chatushtaya would mean Prekshavatam Pravritti Karanam. It means the reason for people to undertake the studies of a book. Prekshavatam Pravritti Karanam. What would lead a person, any person for that matter, to take interest in the book, in any book, any work? So it is the pravritti karanam of a person who is now interested in even a casual perusal of their work. So now, looking at oneself, one will be able to understand as what could be those causes, what could be those reasons, or a reason for one to be propelled into the or what makes you interested in a particular book. Just imagine a person entering into a bookstall, then takes to a certain section. Is the audio clear to you people? All right. So when a person enters into a bookstall, he is drawn to a certain section of the books which are kept over there. Some of them could be fictional, some of them could be, the science, and some of it could be self-development, and some of it could be the novels, and so on and so forth. But why would a person then, some person, directed, interested in one, and other person in some other? So, what is the pravritti karanam of a person? So, the Shastrakaras have enumerated these as the four reasons. One is the Vishaya. Vishaya meaning the topic that is covered by the book. So the author declares as what is it that he is going to discuss. One of the important things for any teacher or any speaker, as once it was told to us by Puja Swami Tajwananji, very casually but very interestingly, was that the speaker should, in the very beginning, tell the audience as what he is going to speak. So the people are clear about the topic. This is what we are going to hear. This is what we are going to receive. This is what we are going to listen to. So now tell them what you are going to speak. And then he says, tell them what you said you will speak. And at the end, tell them what you spoke. Thus, it gives an immense clarity to the listener as what he has actually received. Because there could be a range of topics, subtopics, or sometimes some prasanga vishad. Because of some reason, even the speaker may for a while go astray and bring about a topic which seemingly may be a joke, maybe an anecdote. But a joke or an anecdote is not what he is sitting over there for. So now you have to tell them what you have spoken, and so it gives this clarity. So the topic, Vishaya, what is it that you are going to discuss? In case of Vedanta Shastra, this particular subject matter or this subject, the matter is knowing Atma, knowing oneself as Brahman, meaning complete Purnam. The problem with us is that one identifies himself as a Karta and Bhokta, not that you are not aware of your own presence. So each one of us is definitely aware of his own existence. Even a mad person with who is dull-witted, is also aware of his own existence. I am is a common knowledge given to all. No one knows I am, yet this I is seemingly confused with that what I am not. And hence, your experience of I am even covers that what I am not. Thus, what we have is a confusion and therefore not knowing what truly I am. One now even considers himself to be that what he is not. So present experience of ours is that I am an experiencer, and as an experiencer I keep on hunting for experiences to please me, and I am desperately trying to avoid those experiences which are unpleasant, those experiences which can be categorically called as suffering. So thus I am an experiencer, and therefore I am experiencing joys and sorrows. So I is seen as an experiencer. I is also seen as a as a doer, as an agent of an action. Thus, by that very virtue, I am doing certain things which are right, and I am doing certain things which are not right, meaning they are wrong. As a result of those actions, right and wrong, I am over here either experiencing bouts of joy or I'm experiencing some suffering. Thus, I is considered almost unanimously by everyone as an individual, and this individual is then defined as the experiencer and the doer. And this exactly is identified as the very basic problem of human existence. This aham, meaning this I, the Atma, is seen as limited, parichinna, small, conditioned by time, conditioned by space, conditioned by attributes, so on and so forth. Thus, this I is now such a small little individual, seemingly so insignificant. I am seeking to make myself significant, make myself important, make myself fulfilled, make myself completed. Thus, this is what I think I am. And therefore, I'm seeking fulfillment, I'm seeking completeness because I essentially discover myself as incomplete and therefore unfulfilled. Any person would want, hey, it is a common fact that nobody of us will want to say goodbye to the world with an unfulfilled heart. So the person says that whatever it may be, but at least till the end of my life, I want to find myself fulfilled. I want to discover this piece of fulfillment. So now, this is the basic urge. And here is Vedanta Shastra, which now tells the person or tells everyone that the true nature of the self, of this I, is Brahman, which means that which is indivisible, that what is complete. and it is only waiting for you to know very clearly. Nothing more is required other than simply knowing. So this is the topic. Now a person who has really given a thought over all his activities and involvements in the world, he understands, yes, this is what I truly am seeking. And this is what is the claim of Vedanta, that by knowing your true nature, fulfillment is its natural consequence. And therefore, I want it. So, this is the topic. The second reason what makes a person interested in the studies of a book is that prayojanam. What is the book is claiming that this is what you will achieve. And is this my prayojanam? Is this my purpose too? So when your purpose matches with the purpose that is fulfilled by that text, then the person will naturally will be drawn to it. The third thing is that, well, sir, it may be your purpose, and the book also, that particular subject, also may give you that this is exactly what will be achieved. But do I have the necessary qualifications to the conditions to to reach the accomplish that very purpose? So when a person finds that, well, this is what I want, because I want is one thing, and whether I am having the necessary capacity to, to really reach what I want is yet another thing. So the adhikari, so Vishaya Prayojana Adhikari, adhikari meaning a qualified person, the qualifications which are required by the person. So in Vedanta Shastra, the qualifications are again fourfold. These are the fourfold qualifications which define the, the person who is adequate to undertake the studies. So these, what are those fourfold qualifications? One is called as viveka, the power to discriminate, to understand something clearly. Okay, to discriminate. And what is it that you need to discern, that you need to discriminate, that you need to see clearly, is to find what is nityam and what is anityam. What is truly bound by time, and that what is not bound by time. As a result, now the person naturally will have this maturity because there is this understanding. Now comes this part of the maturity, which means now he will not insist on wanting to make something that is temporary as permanent. Because the nature of that object, the nature of anything, if it is impermanent, then you may try as much as you want. How can you change the nature of that object? For example, heat, being hot, is the nature of fire. Now, if somebody says that, well, I'm going to make the fire such that it will be fire, but it will not have any heat. Okay? Fire without heat is an ashakya anushtanam, meaning it is something impossible. If it is fire, it is bound to have heat. It is bound to be having heat. Now, therefore, This kind of an immature thing where a person insists on making the impermanent as permanent now will be given up. As a result, now this person will seek, truly seek that what is permanent, that what is not bound by time. And therefore, Nitya Viveka is the first qualification. The second qualification is this maturity, which in other words is called as Vairagyam. Okay, dispassion, Vairagyam. Mhm. The third qualification is hmm, mhm, it is called as the Shamadhi Shatasampatti, meaning that the person should be endowed or he should strive to bring about the sixfold spiritual wealth. Either he should be endowed with it, and if he finds that it is lacking in some measure, then that person should strive to bring that measure to its um, required level. What are those sixfold spiritual wealths? Shamadhi Shataka Sampatti. Shama meaning one should be able to bring the mind to peace every time it is disturbed. How quickly and how easily is one able to bring himself at peace, Shama, which in other words is nigraha of the mind, because there are not everything in life is always going to be very conducive to you. So even if something is not conducive, does it mean that I should lose the peace of my mind? Should it mean that? So here we understand that, well, if one is able to maintain that kind of an equilibrium, because situations are always going to be sometimes conducive and sometimes not conducive. But that does not mean that I am thrown off the balance. How easily is one able to establish the fulcrum of balance is very, very important. And this is what then is called as shama. It is called as nigraha of the mind, shama. The second spiritual wealth. These are all spiritual wealths. Okay. So the second one is called as the Dhamma. Dhamma meaning the Indriya Nigraha. First is uh, huh? Mano Nigraha, and the second one is Indriya Nigraha, meaning the Dhamma. The Indriyas, meaning the set of these equipments that we are endowed with, meaning the five organs of action and the five organs of perception. This is what we already have. And now, when you are determined to walk towards a goal, these indriyas may sometimes bring in a lot of disturbance and they may go astray. But it is then required by that person to keep them under control. And this mastery over the indriyas is called as Indriya Nigraha in different and the word over here that is employed is called as dhamma. And this is not very difficult. We practice that every day. But when you can bring it into your practice with more awareness, then that is dhamma. And it should become very natural. Let us say you are in a conversation, and a very civil conversation would mean that you don't raise, you're in the office, and then your boss, somebody who is your superordinate, says something which you find is very very annoying. And though this fellow may be annoying, yet you keep your hand and voice under control, that you may say that this fellow is such a joker, I want to punch his face. But that at that time you don't say that you are a joker, or you don't punch his face. You just do something else by which that situation is it stays under the control. So it is called as the Indriya Nigraha. Indriya Nigraha. The third qualification, Shama, Dhamma, Uparati. Uparati, you will see, all these things will be under discussion as we progress in the text. And hence the teacher has not really brought those over here, but I'm simply mentioning it to you. And when we see that in detail, you will really see that it's very, very nice. And so the third thing is uparati. Uparati means withdrawal from those activities which hold no value for you really. And when does that any activity not hold any value? Is only when that activity no longer assists you in reaching your destination, in reaching your goal. And so giving up of those activities is actually the shanti of those activities. And therefore it is called as uparati. Shama, dhamma, uparati. Titiksha. Titiksha means forbearance. Titiksha means forbearance, fortitude. And this is also very important. Let us say we have these seasons, especially where I'm living. This is Rishikesh, the foothills of Himalayas. And over here, the winters are cold and the summers are hot. Now, if I'm going to say, well, I'm not going to study, or I'm not going to do the puja or things like that because it is very cold, and I'm not going to do the puja because it is very hot, then please tell us, when will you do it? So you will have to bear those things, tolerate them. Yeah? So one of my teachers used to say this very nicely. He said that what is it? That what you cannot, that what cannot be cured should be endured is the proverb. That what cannot be cured should be endured. He says that what cannot be cured then should be enjoyed. That what cannot be cured should be enjoyed. Now, if there is somebody who is a person who is a foolish person, you know, this fellow cannot be cured. Now what? Enjoy his foolishness. And then there is so the tolerance is called as titiksha. Endurance, forbearance, fortitude is called as titiksha. Then we have shraddha. Shraddha meaning, shraddha is not just ordinary faith, but when your faith is able to open the doors of knowledge, allows you to make an inquiry, allows you to have a doubt and also resolve the doubt, then that faith is not detrimental to knowledge. Generally, what happens with faith is that people say if you have faith, you should not have doubt. This is not true. Now, you have certain faith in the Vedanta Shastra, in the Upanishad. You have this faith that the Upanishad is saying that Atma is Brahman, the self is Purnam. But this statement is against every experience of yours. Because through all your experiences, what is your claim? That I am incomplete, I am imperfect. And no matter how much I may try to make myself perfect, yet I discover myself again and again as being incomplete, imperfect, insignificant, unimportant. I may try to make myself important, if not to the whole world. I may try and make myself important at least to one person. But sooner or later, even that person also, you see, he has other priorities placed over you. And therefore, I am left again with the feeling of being unimportant, insignificant. Is not it? So this the teaching of Vedanta, that this Atma is Brahman, is complete, almost stands against every experience of yours, waking experience of yours. And yet you are able to pursue this knowledge. Well, if the Upanishad says so, then it has to be true. So you are able to keep aside all your experiences and yet say, let me see how it is, how Atma is Brahman. So the faith in the Upanishad has allowed you to walk this. And this faith is what is called as Shraddha. This faith is what is called as Shraddha. Okay? So it is actually the Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satya Buddhyavadharana Sa Shraddha Kathita Sadbhihi Yaya Vastu Palabhyate, that by because of which one is able to see the Vastu. Vastu means that what is Vastavikam, the reality. And therefore, that which opens the doors, because knowledge means that what shows you what is real. If your knowledge is going to show you something unreal, you are going to call it as an erroneous knowledge. Okay? You will soon see this example. Everywhere we are going to come across this example. So the person who says, who sees a snake in the dim light in a room, he says, I know it is a snake. And then when he switches the light on, now he says, this is not a snake, it is a rope. So I know it is a snake, I know it is a rope. In both the cases, you are saying this is your knowledge. Even you know it is a snake, and in the second this thing experience, you are saying, I know it is a rope, out of which now you can say the first claim is an erroneous knowledge because it was never a snake. It was always a rope. But because the light was inadequate, I mistook it for being a snake. Thus now what I see is knowledge means that what shows what is real, what is that which is able to show you, that which is able to illumine for you the reality is what you call as knowledge. And therefore, that faith is the power, faith is your strength when the ignorance is prevalent. And so, when ignorance is still there, you still are able to pursue. Let me discover how this Atma is Brahman. The strength which allows you to pursue this path is called as Shraddha. Otherwise, faith in general theological terms also can be very, very dangerous, because over there, oh, you have faith, then why should you have doubt? The thing is that because you have faith, you can have doubt. And therefore, you always know that the whole progress of science is because somebody has questioned. The knowledge progresses only because there was a question, and that question means it is a doubt. So, Shraddha is one very important spiritual wealth. And finally, Samadhana. Samadhana means the quality of the mind to stay collected. Okay? The quality of the mind to stay in Shama means the quality of the mind of to stay peaceful. Okay? To come back to what do they call, like, to being peaceful. But over here, this means to stay collected. Over here, so this is the sixfold wealth. And finally, mumukshatvam, meaning when one is desirous of liberation, and that we have discussed now yesterday, though I should have covered this topic before we entered the text, because anubandha chatushtaya is discussed before that. So we have what all things in under anubandha chatushtaya, which means the factors which are responsible for one to undertake the studies are these four. One is the Vishaya, second one is the Adhikari, the third one is the Prayojanam, and the fourth one is called as Sambandha. So if you study this book, what will you gain? So I will know Vedanta. In the sense, I will know Brahman. So this book is the Pratipadaka, and Brahmajnanam is what is Pratipadya. That what is uh, that what is given uh, by the text, so on and so forth. So when these are the four factors consciously seen, because unconsciously also these are the four factors which are responsible for one to be drawn to a particular subject. So also over here, these are the four factors. Consciously you can see them and discover this is the Anubandha Chatushtaya of Vedanta. This being the Laghuvasudeva Mananam being the text of Vedanta, a Prakarana Grantha, an introductory text of Vedanta. Now, this book also can be, it also carries the same Anubandha Chatushtaya. All right. So far, now, yesterday, we have entered the text already, and it was said that Moksha eva Paramapurushartha. Moksha meaning liberation. And all the darshanas, all the schools of thought accept moksha in moksha. All of them accept moksha. Even the Charvakas is one school which is not exactly hedonism, but it is a very, very refined form of hedonism, which does not, say that live a very hippie type of life. Uh, anti-establishment and all that is not there. Then what is it? That this simply says that, that there is nothing like punarjanma, that you will be born again and then you have to, you will experience the results of your own action even after being born again. And the reason for being born again is for you to experience your fruits. They say nothing like doing. When you are dead and gone, the body is burnt down to ashes or reduces to being just soil and so on and so forth. Nothing remains. And therefore, as long as you are going to live, enjoy yourselves. Uh, be very wise in avoiding the dukkham and just take away the part which is sukham. And they give you an example also that just as a person who is eating fish, the fish has very sharp, uh, horny bones, correct? So they say when you are eating fish, the person or the cat avoids those thorns and eats only flesh. Like that, over here also in life, choose very wisely the sukham and avoid the dukkham. That is all that you require to do. And then live according to the live according to the laws of the land so that you don't land in a problem. Yes. Okay. So they are not anti-establishment. So these charvakas are saying that the liberation as such is nothing but the death. Then, apart from these Charvakas, whether it is the Buddhists or the Jainas or the Nayayikas, Vaisheshikas, the Yogis, the Sankhya's, the Mimamsakas, and of course the Vedantins who are the Uttara Mimamsakas, all these schools of thought accept liberation as a very legitimate pursuit of life. Then, what is unanimously accepted by all of them as the definition of liberation is that it is ha dukkhasya atyantika nivritti. It is just not nivritti of dukkham. It is just not removal of misery. Say, suppose if I'm miserable because of headache, then I may just take a pill, paracetamol pill, and then make myself comfortable. So, nivritti of dukkham is not what is said meant by moksha. It means atyantika nivritti, absolute removal, absolute removal, atyantika nivritti. Well, but a person is not only striving in this life to avoid misery, but a person is also actively wanting to have sukham, sukha prapti. He wants to achieve, he wants to attain sukham. So our activity is twofold, or if not twofold, at least it has got one quality wherein the person is definitely trying to avoid dukkham. Waking up in the early morning, getting yourself ready, and running to the office. So, catching the bus, avoiding the traffic, all these things are there. For what reason? Because you are avoiding dukkham, the dukkham of unemployment. So, you are avoiding dukkham. So, you see, At least something, one of these two purposes are always associated. What are these two purposes? Dukkha nivritti and sukha prapti. Out of these, at least one of them will be associated with every activity of ours. All right? With every activity of ours. And therefore, then only it can be called as a purushartha. Therefore, it can be called as purushartha, meaning purushena arthyate iti, that which is sought by a person. But moksha is then said to be the legitimate pursuit, and it is recognized by all. Okay? All the schools of thought do take this. So over here, दुःखस्य आत्यन्तिकनिवृत्तिः सुखस परमसुखस्य प्राप्तिः. Even that the sukham that you want is which should not be bound, which should not be conditioned by time or space or by any object or attribute. That is the sukham I want. Which means a person says whether I am eating a jalebi or whether I am eating farsan. You know what is farsan? Gujaratis, the savory prepared by the Gujaratis is farsan. A namkeen. Uh-huh. A namkeen. Whether you are eating something sweet or you're eating something salty, what is the person ultimately saying? I should be happy. I should be happy. So you are not ready to accept the condition put by any object. Then you are saying whether it is Sunday, Monday, a rainy day, or a sunny day, I want to be happy, which means you are not ready to accept any condition put by time. Then you are saying whether it is India or whether it is Tokyo or New York, wherever I am, whether I am here or whether I am in heaven, does not matter. I should be happy. So you really don't want a condition by your happiness to be conditioned by space. So you are seeking happiness, which is not conditioned by time, space, and object. This is what is the Paramasukham. You are seeking that kind of happiness where there is no boundary drawn by any of these time, space, object, people, attributes, so on and so forth. Nothing is able to make it limited. So that unlimited, limitless Sukham is what is gained. This state is then called as the state of liberation. All of you are seeking it. And therefore, all the schools of thought accept moksha as a legitimate pursuit of human life. But here in Vedanta, now, how is this moksha attained is also going to be said. Before we go into that, now it was said that this moksha is the ultimate purushartha, it is the parama purushartha. Why? Because the one reason that is given by the author over here is nityatvat, because it is nitya. Nitya meaning it is no longer bound by time. Nacha punaravartate, nacha punaravartate, Chandogya Shruti, we have seen. Now he who has attained Brahman achieves moksha. Okay? He who knows Brahman achieves moksha. This is what is meant by that Shruti. Nacha punaravartate, does not return. He does not return. Return in the sense it does not fall into the cycle of dukkham ever again, because it is a cycle. It is a cycle, one after another, one after another. There is an onslaught of it. In between, there may be a little respite. There may be less dukkham. you know. But that less dukkham also means that there is the potential dukkham is already sitting over there. So now the person is very happy that he has got a job. He has got a job. He was looking for that kind of a job, and he is delighted, he is excited about that job. But even in that excitement too, this person, he already has the insecurity that, if I don't perform well, I may lose this job. So it already is the dukkham is already sitting as a potential dukkham over there, even in those situations of joy. So your joy is already contaminated. You see? So dukkham can be less and more, but it is a continuous dukkham. So this Gautam Buddha, he observes life and he says, Sarvam dukkhamiti. But not only Gautam Buddha, any person who is now able to analyze life and the various experiences, that person is bound to say so. And this is what even sage Patanjali says. Bhagavan Patanjali in the Yoga Sutra, he says, Sarvam dukkham hi vivekinaha. For a viveki person, not for an aviveki. For aviveki person, it is not dukkham. So he makes it very clear. Gautam Buddha does not say it very clearly. Gautam Buddha says it is dukkham only. Right, it is dukkham, but then somebody says, you are saying it is dukkham, but I am enjoying it already. What dukkham you are saying? So Patanjali Bhagavan says that it is dukkham for whom? Vivekinaha, the one who has vivek. For him it is dukkham. All right. So any viveki person will see this through. So nacha punaravartate, nacha punaravartate means he does not fall into this cycle, into the trap of dukkham of this samsara ever again. He doesn't fall into samsara ever again. Nacha punaravartate. Even Bhagavan Shri Krishna says over there, you all chant this 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Yad gatva na nivartante tadham paramam mama na nivartante. Yad gatva, having reached, that the verbal roots which carry the meaning of to reach, to go, also mean to know. Okay. Everything that is gatyarthakam also is jnanarthakam. So yad gatva na nivartante tadham paramam na nivartante. What is important? What is to be noticed over here? What is of use to you over here? Na nivartante. So that na nivartante is said over here. Na punaravartate, na punaravartate. It is shrutehe. So by this shruti, what is the shruti? What is this mantra from the Veda actually telling you? This portion of the Veda is telling you that moksha is nitya. And because moksha purushartha is nitya, it is called as the parama purushartha, the highest attainment. Parama purushartha, it is shrutehe. Okay. Furthermore, itaresham trayanam na tathatvam. The other three purusharthas, which are the other three? Dharma, artha, and kama. The other three, itaresham trayanam na tathatvat. The other three are not, they do not have this quality, na tathatvam. What quality of nityatvam is not there? Then what do they have? Anityatvam. And because of anityatvam is the quality that they possess, the other three purusharthas, though they are also legitimate pursuits of human life, yet they are not parama purusharthas. Huh? Because some people may consider, well, I want to make a lot of money, and that is the ultimate end of my life. Goal of my life. End of my life means goal of my life. The person may say so that this is the goal of my life, but this person is short sighted. Because it is wealth, pleasures. A person can even become a Casanova, but this is not it can't be your ultimate. It cannot be the Paramapurushartha. Why? Anityatvat. Okay? This is the reason. Acha ji, but why are you saying that the other three are anitya and only this purushartha is nitya? This purushartha, the nityatvam of this purushartha is, is established by the Shruti. Okay? The nityatvam of moksha purushartha is established by the Shruti. Acha, well, sir, then anityatvam of the other three is established by whom? Does the Shruti need to show you something which you can know by yourself? If the Shruti is, then Shruti will lose its status as Pramanam and it will become an Anuvadaka. It will become, it is just reiterating what you already know. It will become only a reiteration. So it will not be, it will lose its status as Pramanam. But Shruti now uses your experience as a drishtanta and shows you, allows you to infer about something which you do not know. Okay? So now look at that. This is very nice. Tadyateh karmachito loka kshiyate एवमेवामुद्र पुण्यचितो लोकक्षीयते इति श्रुतेः Chandogya Shruti. This is a Shruti of the Chandogya Upanishad. This is nice. I will just read the entire mantra. It's nice, Let a mantra also fall in your ears. It will become punya. तद्यथेह कर्मजितो लोकक्षीयत एवामुत्र पुण्यजितो लोकक्षीयते तद्यथेहात्मानम् अनुविद्य व्रजन्त्येतांश्च सत्यान् कामांस्तेषां सर्वेषु लोकेषु कामचारो भवत्यथ यैयात्मानम् अनुविद्य व्रजन्त्येतांश्च सत्यान् कामांस्तेषां सर्वेषु लोकेषु कामचारो भवति. Sorry. This is the Shruti. Chandogya Shruti, 8th chapter, 9th section, the mantra number 6, 816. Tad yatheha karmachito lokaha. It is karmachito. This is another actually. The Chandogya Shruti is karmajito, ja, for ja of the janma. This, when it is karmachitaha, it is, I think it is Mundaka Shruti. That we need to confirm this. Look at the Mundaka mantras. Tadyatheha karmajito lokakshiyata evamevamutra punyachito lokakshiyate. Okay. This is the mantra. What through this Shruti, what is established, what is understood? So, what is understood is that the other three Purusharthas are anitya. Now, we have to understand, or we have to see, as how does the Shruti, how does the Shruti allows us to understand the anityatvam of the three Purusharthas, is what we have to see. So let us look at this when we meet tomorrow in the evening. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayam Suprabhashikam Vande Bhagavantam Atmanah Ishvaro Gururatmiti Veda Vibhagine Mamavyaptadehaaya Dakshinaaya Namaha. Thank you all. Thank you very much.